Well, hello, everybody. This is Pastor Bird Cloud from Sterling United Methodist Church. I hope you are well. I know that we're worried about a lot of people, though. The Hurricane Helene that just kind of passed through the southeastern part of the United States has just been devastating. There are people that are really struggling, and it is in some places unimaginable. Whole towns kind of wiped out. So we hear about, the devastation in Florida and all up through, and including, places that are really close to my heart in Appalachia, certainly in southwestern Virginia, but also eastern Kentucky, western North Carolina, East Tennessee. All those areas are really kind of like, dealing with some major heartbreak and loss of life and loss of property. And I know that it's hard to kind of judge what is more deserving than the other. You can't really kind of compare suffering. But what we can do is work to make a difference. And so I'm got a few ideas for you to help make things better. One thing that we're trying to do is make sure that there's funds coming in the direction of the United Methodist Committee on Relief. You can find a QR code. I'm going to try this here. I'm hoping it's there. This is the magic of Sharon if it's there. All right, so there is the QR code, and also there is a lot of information there about how UMCOR works. We did a great job supporting the infrastructure that put boots on the ground, but now direct dollars to go to the recovery effort would be very, very helpful. And I really encourage that you do that in addition to your normal giving. And also, we are encouraging folks to be in prayer. We're not sending people. There are ERT teams that are going. That's the early response teams, but those have to be trained and have current credentials and the like. And also, they have to go under certain conditions, special conditions laid out by the locality. So, it's tempting to want to jump in a car and like go and be, but really that kind of adds to the problem. And also, we need to be mindful about how we are supporting folks. So certainly the financial support and also the prayer support. There is a wonderful prayer that I'm going to ask that is connected to this message. So wherever you find this message, I hope that you will also find that prayer written by a really wonderful colleague. And also, we are encouraging folks to collect flood buckets. Flood buckets are very much like what you see here, an important part of the recovery effort. These put direct supplies into hands of families, of individuals, of communities that are trying to clean out. And if you've ever cleaned out after a flood, I've been part of that in Mississippi and in other hurricane kind of situations. It is just a mess. And there are lots of things that you need. So what we do is we put together these flood buckets, kind of like the other kits that we have done. Actually, we have one kit here already, but there are others that we have been invited to collect. So if you're interested in putting together a flood bucket, in addition to giving and in addition to prayer, if you're interested in putting together a flood bucket, there will be a link with the description of the types of things that are needed in there. There are specific things that are needed inside of those flood buckets, and I want to really encourage you to kind of like look through that and see how you might kind of put together those buckets, or get together with your family or some friends, maybe a community service project or that sort of thing. Scouts, folks can very quickly do this, but what we do need is to have those buckets in by next Sunday. That would be Sunday the 13th. And what we'll do is we'll make sure that those buckets make it to a collection point and then go to Mission Central, which is in Pennsylvania, but it gets distributed through the UMCOR system all throughout. So there's buckets in the field, but also when those buckets get used, there needs to be more buckets behind that. So this is a critical gift that you are given to a person in need. So now I have a bucket here, but unfortunately, it's not. I must have been ambitious or something, but it doesn't have exactly what is needed in here. So I want you to, again, look at that list very carefully so that you don't make some of the mistakes that were made in putting this together. Now, of course, the most important thing that goes inside of this bucket is the idea of hearts and hands that we are using there. We're working in love, but also we're putting that love into action. That's kind of fun to just sort of see on the camera, but that's a critical part of this is the love and the intention of the people that are putting it together, and also that love that is felt by the people that will receive it. Now, also inside of this bucket, there are some other things shouldn't be in here. All right. So, of course, there are gloves that are needed when you're cleaning out. I don't know about you, but I kind of like having a pair of gloves that are like rubber gloves are good and that sort of thing. But unfortunately, this bucket included Mickey Mouse gloves. So, as fun as Mickey Mouse gloves are, not really something that you need in the midst of a flood or a hurricane. Now, of course, we're concerned about kids, and kids are really beautiful and also kind of working through a really horrific experience, but not really good idea to kind of like put stuffed animals in there, although this is cute. Right? This is cute. And so let's not put in there stuffed animals. That would be unfortunate. And actually, when we put things inside of these buckets, people have to go back through and pull those things out. So when you put those things in there, there's some soul that has to kind of work through to make sure that what's needed in there is there. Now, certainly this can be alarming. Uh, Sorry. But I don't believe that sending an alarm clock is a good idea. I hope it works now. All right. And of course, there's sunny days that come after the horrific events that people experience, but sunglasses are not helpful, although kind of stylish. And so we got to work through that. Now, of course, there are things that need to be fixed, but big erasers, this says for big mistakes, big erasers, not helpful. Hats, shirts, and that sort of thing. This was a gift to me. I don't know how it got in here. It says, pastor warning, anything you say or do could be used in a sermon. I try not to do that. If I ever do that to you, please forgive me and call me out on that and that sort of thing. Nice hat, not necessary. Also, jewelry. Jewelry is not advisable, so you don't want to like. Don't ask me why I have this, but you don't want to kind of clutter up your bucket with jewelry. Also, it's a really good idea to not have um, broken props. There we go. There we are. A little kind of like dancing man. Nice, entertaining, but doesn't go in the bucket. All right. So we'll not put that there. I don't want to break this one. And just a few other things that's in here. I can't believe that this happened, but you don't need a cowbell. Cowbells are not necessary for a flood bucket, although fun with cows. Well, I don't know if cows have fun with bells, but you can do lots of things with a cowbell. More cowbells, what I'm saying, but not necessarily a good thing to have in your bucket. Don't put it in your bucket. Also, it might be tempting to think, oh, rubber ducks. Rubber ducks would be such a good idea to include in because there's so much water, right? but the people that receive this might not think that's funny, right? Got to work your audience, right? And of course, I'm being silly, but the point is, please use the list that you will see and carefully put together this bucket. There's other information there that would be helpful to you if you'd like to kind of, construct this in other ways. We have given funds for the construction of these kinds of buckets, and there are different ways of kind of doing it. The important thing is that we're acting soon, and we're looking to make a difference in the world. So thank you for watching this to the very end. There's nothing in this bucket, but there are a few things on the table that actually do need to go in. So I'm going to work on putting my properly constructed bucket together, and I hope that you will join me in this process. God bless you.